Good morning, everybody. I do deeply apologize that I could not be there in person, but I was given episode 5 titled Crossroads. In the beginning of the episode, one of the veterans said that a good leader has to understand the people that are under him and understand their needs, their desires, and how they think. In the episode, Captain Winters is given a task of writing a report of their most recent combat action. In that combat action, they were dealt with the challenge of facing two full companies of SS soldiers. Before the encounter, Captain Winters gets up and he starts to charge at the company of SS soldiers who are not aware that Captain Winters and his men are there. He tells his men to wait for the red smoke and then charge after him. Captain Winters makes the first shot, and the surprised Germans are not prepared for his men, and his men quickly and are able to defeat the first company. But briefly later, a second company appears, and they are now in a full-on firefight between each other. After the firefight, Captain Winters is sitting down, reminiscing about the battle. In the first picture, Captain Nixon goes to confront his fellow comrade, Captain Winters, who's reminiscing about how they have 22 wounded and there is one killed in action named Private Duplin. Captain Nixon gives his fellow comrades some words of encouragement, saying that Private Duplin did a very great job. Basically, he's saying that even though they lost a soldier in the battle, that soldier's death was not in vain, because in the end, they end up, beating all odds against them, defeating two full companies of SS soldiers. And then in the second picture, Captain Winters is promoted to XO of the 2nd Battalion because of just how great of a job he did during that battle. And First Lieutenant Hagler takes over Easy Company. And then in the third picture, the Captain Winters is seeing the German soldier that he first shot, and he sees that as a young boy, and his face of shock seeing this young boy who couldn't have been 15 or 16 years old. He's seeing this young boy, and obviously he knows that he has to kill him. After all these events have passed and the battle has passed, Captain Winters goes on leave to Paris, and while he's on the train back from Paris, he sees a young boy, just like the young boy who he shot at the battle, who, reminds him of the young boy, and he just thinks to himself that, that young boy on the train, reminds him so much of the young boy who he shot. And it just goes to show that, during World War II, a lot of soldiers were, 18, 19, some as young as 15 years old, are fighting in this war and dying. And it's just, I think it had a heavy impact on Captain Winters, just on the fact how young they were. That was a summary of episode 5 titled Crossroads.